Okay, you got yourself a goal, you visualize it every day, you take discipline on your actions, then the mind is something I want to talk about. Um, Nobody has ever seen the mind, and the mind is not your brain, because that's what everybody thinks. But the mind, yeah, nobody has seen it, so you cannot say it for sure. You really have to believe in it. But to explain the mind, it's where thoughts, where are your thoughts? I mean, you see them, you think in pictures. Where you see the picture, where is that place? It is a place. That is the mind. It's not the brain, it's not something visible, but what I told you earlier, everything works in a certain way. So there are laws. If you do something, it does have effect. So your thoughts do have effect. And to give an example, maybe to make it a little bit touchable, is that if you think about somebody, you really think like, oh, I should really call this person because it's been a while, and yeah, man, he had this thing and I wanted to ask about how did it went or something. You feel like you really should contact this person because it was a long time ago, and yeah, you receive a message from this person, or he shows up in the same store, or this is not coincidence. This is the power of thought. And with feeling with emotions, you really feel with the feeling that you need to do something. Those two combined, it has an effect. It happened many times. I studied this material for over 6-7 years now, and I talk with my colleagues about it. I tell them, if you think about something and somebody contacts you, let me know because I'm interested in that. Now, this colleague told me that he thought about a person from how is he, and how would it be with him, they walked into a store and he met this person that was in the store. So I was aware about this method. I asked someone, let me know when this happens, and a week later it happened. She told me on the office. It was not like a month. I asked the person, let me know if it happened. A week later it happened. And yeah, I don't believe in coincidence. This happened to me many times. I'm aware of it, so I enjoy it every time it happens. But yeah, that was just a little example. But to come back to the mind, it is a very important piece which does something. So if you think about favorable results, coming back to your poker goals, really believe it and really feel emotions with it. So you really want that trophy or whatever it is. I keep saying that as an example, but it could be anything. But it has to be a large goal that you really want. And the mind will make things happen. So if you think about it and make it positive and don't doubt yourself, just as the person you wanted to contact, that person shows up. I'm not saying the trophy will show up in your in your house or something, but it becomes touchable. So I don't want to make it too fake, but you got a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Now the conscious mind allows us to think and think everything we want. Freedom. You can think everybody's the same, but not your thoughts, because everybody can think different thoughts. Now, that's the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the second part, and I only studied that the mind has two parts, and the subconscious mind is where you do something so often it becomes automatic, and that is the real piece for consistent results. So the conscious mind is you become aware of the system, you think about your goal, etc., what you want, you choose in every freedom whatever you want. That's the conscious mind. But the real key to consistently get there, that's why discipline comes in again, is to put it in your subconscious mind. Now, This is when it goes almost automatic. It doesn't cost you a lot of energy, and you will constant make that thing happen. So to give an example, you drive your car for the first time. You thought it was impossible, probably. You thought you were gonna die, but the conscious mind is, okay, I have to push the brake, I have to use the clutch, I have to steer. Am I doing this correctly? I have to say I'm going to the right, whatever. Now, the first lesson was very awkward, probably, but lesson 30, lesson 40, whatever. Maybe you drove a couple of years now. It goes very easy. You blend it from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, and now you can phone where you drive, or don't hold in your hand, of course, but you can think about other things and still driving. It almost goes automatic. And that's what I mean by subconscious mind. You made driving a car a goal, you worked at it, took action, you planted it in your subconscious mind by repetition, and now you drive a car like it's nothing. No, you don't even think like, I cannot drive a car. No, you know you can. It goes automatic, and you visualize yourself able doing it. To come back to the mind story, use this in any goal. You can choose freedom, whatever the goal is, repeat it, really believe it's possible, and take action, really do it, and your goal becomes a reality if you go for the long way, if you keep repeating it. I can talk hours about the mind, but this is really what it is. You got a conscious, subconscious. Conscious is where your active thoughts are. Subconscious is where it goes automatic, and that's where you want to plant the good things that you really want. And you can see the subconscious as, this is also where the paradigm is, and I will make another video about that later on in the course, so I will not talk about that now. I just wanted to make you aware that we all have a mind. We cannot see it, but it does exist. We think in pictures and thoughts, and where we think, that is where the mind is. Now, somebody say it's universal intelligence, that there's only one mind, that we all take energy from that source, but that goes very deep, and I don't want to make it that vague, but I think if you study this, there's a lot of layers to the mind. But if you can use this in the goals that you want, it's the most powerful thing. And that's why I say this is where the biggest edge in poker is, in my opinion, because you can become very successful if you use this method the right way and be consistently. And you can study all the strategies that you want, but if you don't know this, you will not reach your goals. No, you can become a very good strategic poker player, but you will not reach your goal. So only by reading books, you will not get there. With this method and reading the good strategy books, you will definitely get there. So that's why I wanted to make this course, to make you aware that only taking courses or reading a book, I say if you have a good poker book, read it 1,000 times, because you plant it in your subconscious mind. You don't have to think about every difficult move in poker or how was that strategy again. No, if you read a book 1,000 times, you planted that strategy inside. You don't have to think about the strategy anymore. You just do it. You can do it automatically. Now, then poker doesn't take a lot of energy anymore. This is why most, to give an example, Phil Hellmuth, he doesn't really care about strategy. Of course, some people think he's an idiot. I think he's the best player who activates this. His own mind, his intuition, his feelings in the poker. That's why I think he won the most bracelets. Not because he's the best strategic poker player out there. I think we can all agree on that. But I think that nobody gives him credits for this. I don't know if he realizes that he is doing it to himself, but he is doing this the best way possible. And that's why I think, in my opinion, he has the most bracelets in poker there is. So, a little bit on the mind.